This is Belén, I am Robert, and we both are Scrum Masters at King. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful kingdom. This beautiful kingdom, one day, something bad appeared. We had two teams who couldn't collaborate with each other. Those teams were service layer and in-game promotion, and they weren't totally, absolutely unable to cooperate towards a common goal. They were, for instance, one time, the guys in in-game promo team went to the service layer guys and, hey, we need you to make a change in the API using because we need to develop a new feature that needs. And the answer was, well, you cannot tell us how to program. We are doing the API, so we decide this API is done. The service layer guys went to the in-game promo team and told them, hey, you're using our API in the wrong way, and half of the production data is gone. Well, that sounds a lot like your problem, not ours. Another time, one team found something weird in the system, and instead of exploring, looking what it was, or going to the other team, they were sitting one next to another, by the way. Instead of going there and telling, hey, something weird is happening, can we take a look at it? They just opened the bug in the backlog of the other team in the system, and the bug was there for a week or so before the other team even realized that the bug was opened. By the way, at the end, the bug was in the side of the team who opened it. We tried lots of different things to solve this issue. We did joint retrospectives, we did full-day workshops, we even took both teams to beers, but nothing worked, nothing. And then we decided to try a different approach. We decided to build a team alliance. But what's the point of a team alliance anyway?
A team alliance is useful to clarify expectations of each team member, to set team agreements and norms, to start a new project or team with a positive feeling, to build cohesion from the start, to correct possible deviations in the way of being of a group, to avoid possible conflicts in the future, and finally, to raise the team level and ask for more commitment with the group. But how did we implement this alliance, Robert?
Well, for starters, we used a different format that we were used to. Instead of doing another retrospective and looking back at what's going wrong, what is not working, how can we solve this, we did a futurospective. We looked at the future and worked to define how do we want this future to be. And we used a metaphor. The metaphor was a journey. Was that both teams were a tribe of Vikings. They had to conquer a new land because they were running out of land and their current land was not sustainable anymore. So the metaphor here was that the land to conquer was the desired future state. Here they had to define how they wanted the collaboration between both teams to be. And we started with an exercise that we called Define the Valhalla. The Valhalla was the land to conquer and was that ideal future of collaboration that we wanted. And the idea here was to set a common vision for both teams to work towards it. We asked all of the participants, we put both teams in a room for 2 hours, and we asked all the participants to write on Post-its which items that they would like to have in this ideal future of collaboration. We hanged the most voted items on this map to keep them on site for the rest of the workshop to be able to remember them easily. After this, we did another exercise that we called the catapult. We had the catapult covered for the first part of the workshop, and here we used another metaphor. The metaphor was that we were going to throw the Vikings to the promised land, to our Valhalla, using a catapult. So we draw on a board these three items: the catapult, the flying Viking, and some mountains in the middle. And at the end of the journey, it was the map of Valhalla. And we asked them to write items for each of the parts of the drawing. In the catapult, we asked them to write items like processes and tools that we already had in place or could easily put in place to help us achieve our desired state of collaboration. Then we worked on the flying Viking. The flying Viking was a metaphor for the personal attitudes we need to adopt or to change to make collaboration possible. And then the third mountain were the risks. What could our Vikings that are being thrown with the catapult to the Valhalla could crash on the mountain? So what are these mountains? What things could happen that would make our journey to the Valhalla go wrong? And we asked for the input on those three things, and having all this input, we divided all the participants into three different groups and asked them to build what we called a manifesto. And those manifestos were just well, you all know the Agile manifesto, were something similar, a list of things we want to do or we need to do in order for the collaboration to be possible. And once each group had this they shared it with the rest of the whole group, and we asked them to vote which items they would like to have on a common manifesto for the both teams. So we built the common manifesto for both teams. We had 4 items in that list and asked all the participants to sign this manifesto. And this is an agreement of how are we going to collaborate from that point on. But after doing all this workshop and exercise, what did we learn, Belén?
Afterwards, we reflected with the help of our Agile coaches. One is Israel here. Thank you. You were a big part of this. And we connected this whole exercise with the GROW model. That is a technique used for goal setting and problem solving, used for both individual and team coaching. And in GROW, the G stands for goal, and we define our goal, we define the Valhalla exercise. Then the R stands for reality, and we explore our reality with the catapult exercise. The O means options, and we set different options by building 3 manifestos. And the W stands for will and way forward, and we establish this by unifying in one manifesto and signing it. Second, we learned the value of the future perspectives. As he mentioned, we tried several times to run retrospectives. For example, I suggested to run the personality poker game with both teams. They didn't agree, but then they ran it on their own. And after that, we came with the idea of why don't we run a future perspective? And this provides us a new, fresh, positive outlook into the future. And that was the time when the doors opened. And third, why was it so powerful at the end, this exercise and this alliance? Well, I think that was because it created a shared understanding and commitment and an environment of cooperation. And what did it really change after the future perspective?
Well, we could say that after the future perspective, the collaboration between both teams is perfect. There are no frictions, there are no problems, and everything works like a charm always. But that wouldn't be true. However, some things happened after this future perspective. For instance, the very day after running the workshop, one developer from one team went to a developer in the other team to get aligned in the way to develop a new feature. Then we had issues in life, and developers from both teams joined and searched for the issue and fixed it together. And also, since then, when bugs arose, both teams worked together to find which was the cause of the bug and to solve it together. And they lived happily ever after. Any questions? Yes? Time's over. Thank you.
Thank you.